What's up guys, Crushing Skies here, and we are back with another video. Finally, I know, it's been so long. If you're watching this, you're probably brand new to the channel, and I welcome you because there are some very, very positive things to come in the future. As you can see, we're going to be playing a full playthrough of Kerbal Space Program. I absolutely love this game. And I've been wanting to play it, and I've played it a lot, and I've gotten some experience, so I'm not a total noob. And I really want to record it. I think this would be really fun to record and have feedback and have all kinds of stuff go on with the community and me enjoy a playthrough. I think this will be fun for everybody. This is going to be a fully stock playthrough, except for, as you can see, Astronomer's Visual Pack and a few visual mods to make this a really great looking playthrough. Other than that, there's no parts mods, no DLCs, so anybody can jump right on in here. And further on down the road, we might add some DLC or anything like that. And, you know, we can play that too. We can do a lot. This game has pretty much unlimited potential. So, let's go ahead and get started here. We're going to start a brand new game. Let's see. Let's call this... what do we want to call this? Let's call this Crushing Skies Space Program. And that uncapital S is going to bug me. So let's fix that. Bam. Alright, we're going to do a career mode. And we're going to add a cool flag. Let's do, I want to make my own flag. I've seen that you can. But let's do something like this. Something a little different. And then let's mess with the difficulty a bit. We're going to do normal. We're going to have, let's see. I'm not sure if we want respawned crews. We might want to just have to, We'll come back to that. Alright, so we're going to do the pretty much basic settings. We're going to start out with 25,000 funds. No science, no reputation. I really want this to be kind of a difficult playthrough where we're not getting any bonus funds or science. I want to be able to do all contracts and really focus on the core of the game and build up a ton of money so we can do really cool missions. And then if people really, really like this series, I might do a science mode playthrough as well, or missions to go along with it so we can have some kind of crazy out of this world kind of missions. But I wanted to start off pretty simple with this. Okay, we're going to do missing crews respawn, and I'll explain. So, I have a pretty good understanding of this game, but I'm not like a total pro. And I wanted to record this so you can kind of see my development in this game. I can do a lot of things, I can get to a lot of places, and I know pretty much all of the basics of Kerbal Space Program. But getting to like Joule and doing some crazy maneuver nodes and super efficiency, I'm not great at yet. So I want to have the ability to respawn our crew if the need be. So let's go ahead and start this up. And I might have misspelled something right there, which is gonna... I hope I didn't. Alright, and here we are in the game. And thanks. I've got it. Oh, didn't mean to open the astronaut complex. Or, yeah. So, first things first, we're going to grab some science. That's the thing that we want to do first. If you've ever seen a Kerbal Space Program playthrough or anybody play it, that's what we want to do first. So we're going to go into the Vehicle Assembly Building, the VAB, or VAB, however you want to call it. And let's do we're going to edit some colors here and make a cool first vehicle. And then I guess we'll just add the flea booster, and then science. We're going to add 2 mystery goo containers, and then a parachute. And make sure Jebediah is on here. And he is. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Alright, so this is pretty much all we can do right now. And we're going to go ahead and give this a test. Actually, we might be able to do 4. No, we'll just do 2. No reason to do anything crazy. So let's go ahead and name this the CS Mark 1. Oh. Yeah, CS Mark 1. This will be our series of kind of test boosters, non-orbital craft, more of our experimental craft. So, first things first, we're going to do a crew report. Great. Then we're going to do an EVA report. And great. We're going to add some mystery goo. Oh, externally by scientists, that's right. Now we're going to board. Observe the mystery goo. Great, some more science. And now the only thing left to do is do this rest of the science and everything else in the sky. So let's blast off here. Oh! I realized I've made a mistake. I have made a very bad mistake. Now I'm not going to revert the flight. I'll accept this failure. But... whoops. Well, I guess we got science from it, and that works. But I meant to put the to put the parachute in a stage order. Rookie mistake. Dang. All right, so we got science that we wanted to grab. Not a perfect launch in any way, shape, or form, but I guess it worked out in the end. Next time I'll remember to stage the parachute. But we got some science. And we can go ahead and grab some parts. We're going to grab basic rocketry. It gives us a liquid engine and I think a fuel tank. This for decoupling, which is nice. And then we can't grab any of this science just yet. So, let's see what we can do now. So let's take that off. And let's add, we want to get a splashdown. So we're going to go right, and we're going to get science from the ocean. And then we're going to go left and get science from the mountains over there. So let's do that. We don't need a liquid booster or a swivel engine. I think a solid fuel booster will be just fine for what we're trying to do. And remember from last time, let's go ahead and stage this. Now, I could decouple this and just land the command pod, but since we're doing career mode, I really want to save the booster. Now, I forgot something that was important. We need to... oh, snap. We'll just have him continue as the Mark 1, and we'll edit that when we come back. So, I need to grab some contracts. Yes. Let's grab some ones that aren't kind of, We don't want to do the, I don't really like these. The certain location ones. Some people might really like them. I don't. They're kind of a pain to do. They don't pay real much. So we're going to do stuff like this. The tests, escape the atmosphere, decouplers. Yeah, we want to do some of these. Let's do escape the atmosphere. That'll be super easy to do. This will be super easy to do. And I think we can only take 2 right now. So yeah, we'll do those. As soon as we collect our science first. So, let's go take science from the ocean. I think we don't even need 2, do we? We just need 1. How much are they? Oh yeah, $800. We'll just do 1. Because we already took it from the launch pad, and we already did it in low orbit. We're not going to get any higher than that. But we have a thermometer. So, we're going to add 2 of those. There we go. Staging is correct. Now, we'll call... this is basically no different than the Mark 1. So, we're not going to change that. There's no real significant addition here. So, let's go ahead and fly this thing. All right, SAS on. I know we don't, when you're using a solid fuel booster, you don't really have to mess with the throttle, which by the way is Z to throttle up, X to throttle down, Shift to slowly throttle up, and Control to slowly throttle down. You don't really have to use that with a solid booster, but I like to get in the habit of just getting fully ready on the launch pad. So let's take one of our temperature gauges. Great, some more science. And then we'll go ahead and launch to the right at a 90-degree angle and grab some science from there. This thing's a little hard to control, but I think we're going to land in the water just fine. Yeah, we're going to land in the water. So we can go ahead and speed up physics a little bit. These long flights, when you're doing just simple little tests, no real need to complicate things. And here we go, we're coming down. Look at that, it's really pretty, huh? Oh snap, I messed up. Let's go ahead and launch this parachute so we can flip around. I don't want to be going at a bullet angle and then go too fast where we shred our parachute. I should have thought about that. Now we can either, we can go ahead and take a temperature log up here. And then I think we can take a second temperature log when we hit the water, which will do another EVA report and another crew report. So this will be in a different location. There we go. Flip our craft around so we don't nosedive straight into the water. We got a bit of a visual glitch right there. I might need to mess with some of my visual mods. You might see a few little glitchy things, but other than that, I think it's going to work out pretty well. I had to remove scatterer because, oh my goodness, I couldn't get out of the clouds. Alright, so we'll do our mystery goo. Some more science, great. And then we'll do another, actually we took both. Yeah, so let's go on an EVA. Let's go ahead and grab this data. We're going to EVA report, great. And then we're going to reboard. We're going to do a crew report, more science, and then we're going to log the temperature again. And even more science. And that should give us a pretty solid amount to go ahead and get our next tier of science. 21 science. Pretty good. Not bad, not bad. So let's see what we can do. We can go ahead and grab general rocketry, which I think we can honestly get into space with this. We can, by the way. But this next stuff adds us some cool parachutes, surface bays, heat shields. Some cool stuff that will get us even farther than we are right now. So with 38 science, let's go ahead and grab... Hard choice. When you can only grab one. If we had 2 more science, we can get 2 of them. But stability is great. But these nose cones we're not really going to need right now until we get a solid booster or side boosters. So I'm going to have to pick between general rocketry and survivability. Which I think I'm going to get survivability. Because we got a barometer. And we want that. Because that's going to give us even more science. And, oh. We have enough science to grab another one? Really? Alright, I guess we can get general rocketry and survivability. Huh. How are we not... Maybe I'm missing something, but... Alright. So, here are the 2 things that we need to do, and I think we can do both of these in one run. So let's go to suborbital flight. And this will be a new addition and a new ship. So we're going to go ahead and take this away. And I don't think we need to add a decoupler and waste an engine. We're not doing anything too crazy. So we'll add a fuel tank. Like that. And then we'll add a swivel engine. Like that. Stage them. Then add all of our sweet science. We might just do some overkill and do 2 of everything. Just in case. You probably don't need to do this, but... Oh, by the way, I have Kerbal Engineer installed, so we can see our delta V numbers, thrust to weight ratio, and everything like that. So, no mods adding parts, and it's mainly stock, other than a few I think are necessary mods. You don't really need them, they're not totally necessary, but they're a quality of life for sure, and are awesome. So actually, I don't think this is going to get us out of the atmosphere. So we're going to add another fuel tank. That may get us out of the atmosphere. It's getting a little pricey, but I think we're going to recover all of this. And we're going to go ahead and add 2 drogue chutes just in case this is too heavy. Yeah. And we'll do drogue chutes first and then our other chutes. All right, and I think that's about all we're going to be able to do. Let's fly the CS Mark II and see how this goes. My prediction is it's going to get us over 70 kilometers, but I'm not totally sure. Let's find out. Oh, and we're using a liquid engine as well, so we actually do have to throttle up on launch. So turn on SES so we can control. And let's try and go straight up. I don't want to turn with this setup right now because I don't want to have to fly through too much atmosphere. So we're going to see if this gets us into space. Which I don't think it's going to. Yeah, I don't think this is going to get us quite to space. Although I could be wrong. Let's go ahead and check with M. Yep, not quite in space. But we can go ahead and take some science anyway. So let's go ahead and do this. Great, we got some science. Go ahead and take another mystery goo. Take all of this great science. Might as well. So upper atmosphere. Let's go. Oh, we can't EVA, that's right. Crew report. More science. Great stuff. And we'll go ahead and fast forward time a little bit because we're going to be floating up here a while. Sadly, we didn't get into, we're not going to hit the Kármán line, or Kerbal's equivalent of the Kármán line, 70 kilometers up. But I think with one more fuel tank, we will. We have plenty of thrust to weight, so I think we'll be just fine on that. So let's go ahead and fast forward all of this. We need to stay retrograde. I really don't want to lose these parts because they're quite expensive. And considering we're playing career mode, we actually do have to think about our money. And we're probably about to flip. I'm going to try and fight the flip as much as I can. That way we don't flip over and continue to accelerate. We're getting a little low. Drogue chutes. Regular chute. Ooh, that was kind of close. A little scary. Ooh. Oh, we were really close. If we had not decelerated enough, we would have smashed right into the ground. Another little tip for anybody who's new to Kerbal Space Program. What you want to do is land your ship under 9 meters per second. And I realize not everybody watching this is a total noob. Some people watch these being advanced, and I guarantee you that we're going to be getting into advanced stuff. But I wanted to go ahead and make the first video. It's pretty simple for anybody to jump right into. And we'll be getting places quick, doing some pretty cool advanced things, and I really hope y'all enjoy that. And we might be going too fast. We might blow up our engine down there. Hopefully as the atmosphere thickens, we won't. I know the ground right here looks absolutely horrible. I might have to fix this, these cities. Alright, let's see how this looks. Yep, we lost our engine. That's a shame. But we kept everything else, and we'll go ahead and do the rest of our science here. Gonna get some more stuff, because we're in a different biome. And cool, and then we'll take temperature. And we'll recover. Now, we should have completed a contract to haul the swivel engine up above Kerbin. And we got a lot of science for that. Great. And we're getting pretty stacked on cash. So, yep, we did complete the mission of swivl. So, what we can do to make this first video pretty conclusive is complete both of these contracts at the same time. And I think we can do it with our tech now. We can definitely do it with our tech now. So we're going to grab stability. We're going to go ahead and actually, I think we have everything we need. Let's do this. This will be our first orbital rocket and will be the final rocket in the CS Mark series. So, let's go ahead and change all this out. And we're going to actually have to stage and do some interesting stuff. So, we're going to add a heat shield for reentry. I don't think we'll technically need it. If you really need to save weight or really need to save money, even though they're pretty cheap, on low orbit, low Kerbin orbit, LKO, or anything where you're not really exceeding 2,500 kilometers an hour or a second. Yeah, an hour. You probably don't need a heat shield, but we're going to use it anyway because I think it's always good to have. I have gone to the moon, or Mun. I've gone to the Mun and forgotten one, and didn't work out so well. I had to do all kinds of flippy-floppy maneuvers and lose all of my externals just to land safely. So you want to get into the habit of using a heat shield. So we're going to add a decoupler right after this. And we're going to go ahead and add all of our science to the command pod, because we're going to be decoupling and discarding of everything under the command pod. So let's go ahead and add our science. We're going to add a thermometer. Do we need to? Do you think we need to? I don't think we'll really need to, because we're just going to be going into a pretty simple orbit and low Kerbin. So we're going to use one of everything. Put all this right here, and then our barometer. And there we go. That's our science. And now we can build our orbital craft. So I want our upper stage. This will be our insertion craft. And this is going to be using a... we do not have a very efficient... It would be great if we had a really vacuum efficient engine. But we don't. So we're going to use the swivl to do this. It's a little heavier than I wanted it to be. And not as great of efficiency. But I think it'll work. And then we're going to do another decoupler. And then we're going to add a double tank here. With a... Oh, did I put a Reliant in there? I did put a Reliant in there. That might work out. Does this have any vectoring? The Reliant doesn't have any vectoring. I want vectoring. So we're going to add a swivl. And then we're going to add a swivl here as well, because we're going to really need a vector. Then I'm going to add... We're going to go ahead and symmetry here. I'm going to add 2 side boosters with the thumper. Solid fuel boosters are pretty cheap, easy to use, not too complicated. Aerodynamics, add these cones on. There we go. Now this is a pretty simple thing to do. And if you really wanted to, if this flips over, we can add some winglets or a fin to add some aerodynamic things to it. So we're going to go ahead and do the CS Mark III, our first orbital craft. And I think we can probably... Let's do the move tool. And then move... Ooh. No, I wanted to move up. Yeah. Yeah, I think that works pretty well. And we don't have the structural stuff. So let's go ahead and stage it. So we're going to do these side boosters. Now when we get the fuel lines I really want to add a fuel line to this center booster. But for now, we're going to use these side boosters to get us up. We're going to decouple those. Then we're going to add, let's go ahead and add this to that as well. And then we're going to decouple that. I didn't add a decoupler there, did I? No, I didn't. Bam, there we go. So we're going to do this. Then decouple and ignite our second stage. Decouple that. Ignite our insertion stage. Then this will also be our deorbital stage. Then we're going to decouple that and land safely, hopefully. So let's save that and see how this works. Oh, so here's our first problem. If you already know this, you already know what I'm going to say. But the launch pad cannot support this craft, and I think it's under 30 parts. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and upgrade our launch pad. Now you can probably get into orbit with a much lighter craft, but this upgrade is pretty cheap and pretty necessary. So we're going to go ahead and do it. And it's only 11,000, whatever the currency is. Only costs 11,000 to make this craft. So I think that's pretty simple. Let's go ahead and launch it. And we have Jebediah. Yes, we do. And launch. All right. We're going to make sure SAS is on. Our fuel or throttle is ready to go. And then we're going to want to get turned to 90 degrees fairly quickly so we can get into orbit. And 3, 2, 1, engines ignited. I'm going to start kind of slowly turning. Just very gradually turning. I don't want us to flip. It's kind of hard to control. We're going a little fast. But I think we're going to make it just fine. Oof. Those boosters are out, and we have a much more controllable craft. Let's go ahead and get to 90. Twist us back around. And let's see where we're at. So our apoapsis is in space. So we can go ahead and cut that engine out. Now, we have a lot more fuel than we really need, I think. We're still going through the atmosphere right now, so it's going to continue to slow us down. But we want to get to our apoapsis and then do something called a circularization burn. Basically, we're going to point prograde and extend our orbit and get into orbit, where our lowest point, called the periapsis, is above 70 kilometers. So, right now, we're just really going to coast until we reach this apoapsis, and we're going to need this second stage to get into orbit. And we still might not be able to, actually. I think we might not have enough fuel. I'm going to go ahead and face fully 90 over here. And we're in space. So what we're going to do is, let's get a little closer. And I'll start burning right about now. So let's go ahead and start up our engines. Start extending this. We want to make sure this apoapsis isn't getting away from us too quickly. We're going to go ahead and stage that. Turn on our other booster, which you can see we just launched that off with the spacebar. And now we're in this booster, which is not going to get us to orbit. Yep, not quite. That's a shame. But now that we're in space, we'll go ahead and take science. And we won't revert the flight. I want to make sure we're not reverting the flight too much. You can. There's no problem with that. If you need to revert the flight, you certainly can. But I'm going to try and do this as organically as possible to kind of replicate a new space program, trying to get into orbit, trial and error. So we're going to go ahead and take all of our science here. I guess we technically could have put 2 of everything on to take science when we land, and that'll be an addition we make. So all that science is ready to go. Let's go ahead and face retrograde so we can be prepared to re-enter. And this stage is serving us no purpose, so we're going to go ahead and decouple it. And we'll take a crew report. And that's about all we can do. So let's speed up time until we are coming down. Here we go. So let's get pointed retrograde, ready to enter the atmosphere. We're going to be coming in on the dark side. You want to watch out for mountains. I'll set this to mountain height. But you want to watch out for mountains if you're coming in on the dark side. Sometimes they can be kind of hard to see. So let's do some physics warping here just as we're coming in. We're coming in at a pretty good angle, so landing should be a breeze. As you can see, we're starting to heat up, so we're coming in pretty quick. 2,100 meters per second. Not too terribly fast. I've come in much harder. Hotter, not harder. Or both. Both those terms work. But right now, it'll be with just the command pod and the heat shield. We will be orientated automatically to retrograde. So we're going to continue to burn in pretty hot here. Make sure you don't release your parachutes too early. They will get immediately disintegrated at this heat. Oh, we might actually land on land. I wasn't expecting that. Here's some of the city lights in the dark that I was talking about. That's some of the graphical issues that we had at the Space Center, which won't be too much of a problem. We're continuing to slow down as we get into heavier and heavier atmosphere. Pretty cool stuff. There's our orbital insertion stage. Well, not really. Didn't insert us into orbit. Our failed orbital insertion stage, flying off into the distance over there. We were on a suborbital trajectory, so that'll be coming down as well. And it looks like we're going to be landing on land? Question mark? Maybe water? Yeah, I think we're going to be landing on water. So as we slow down here, I'll just continue to kind of orientate to retrograde. And then be prepared to launch our parachutes. We're under 300 meters per second, so waiting to go ahead. Oh, hello, clouds. I think that is scatter from Astronomer's Visual Pack popping up. But here we come down. Go ahead and launch the drogue chutes, slow us down even more. And then speed us up. Launch our regular chute. Or our main chute. Oh. Yep, I just heard our other stage blow up onto the ground. And from here, I'll just go ahead and accelerate down. And grab a drink of water while we're doing that. Alright, so it's going to be a pretty slow crawl down. I added way too many chutes for this. I don't really need the drogue chutes if we're just going to be landing the command pod. But it was a cool addition, so we'll go ahead and do that. Here we go, landing. And splash down now. There we go. Alright, so I think we can go ahead and do an EVA. I don't think we'll get any science from this. Oh, we'll get a little bit of science. And then I'll go ahead and take this data, take that data. I did a EVA report, so I'll go ahead and board with that. Then I'll redo these experiments, give us as much science as we possibly can. And I think that's about all we can do. Yeah, I want to keep our crew report. So, recover craft. And there we are, 54 science earned. Not as much as I would have liked, but that works. And I'll definitely get us in orbit on this tier. We won't need to do any crazy stuff just to get into orbit yet. So I'll get us into orbit with this technology. That way, if anybody who doesn't know how to do this can figure out a craft. We also completed Yes, we did complete Escape the Atmosphere, so we'll go ahead and grab another one real quick. What do we want to do? Let's test... That's a little too high. I don't want to do that. Too high. Let's see. Yeah, let's go ahead and decline some of these. Those are fun. Tourists, well, those are fun. We'll do those. Flea, solid booster. That one's not too much money. We'll go ahead and decline that. We might be able to do that one. But I'll grab another contract next episode. This is well in the first one. Sorry we couldn't get into orbit on the first episode. That was my goal, but we didn't achieve it, and the video's getting close to 40 minutes long now. So we will definitely do that first things first in the second episode. Then we'll spend all that science afterwards and continue expanding our space program. So, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this first episode. I apologize if it was a little mundane, kind of the same usual stuff. Grab science, get into orbit. But this first episode is mainly for people who are just wanting to watch a good series. But from now on, we're going to be getting farther and farther and more advanced and really cool missions coming up. So I'm really excited about it. So, thank you so much for watching. I will see y'all in the next episode.